Hi, and welcome to Spirit Time, brought to you by Heavenly Spirits. I'm Daniel Cooney.
And I'm Christine Cooney.
This is another installment of our ongoing training video series on the subject of French spirits.
And in this episode, we will pick up where we left off in Armagnac Part 1, as we travel to Armagnac, France, and visit the Delord Distillerie and talk to Jérôme, Sylvain, and Jacques Delord.
From grapes to glass, the Delords will take us through the process of making their delicious brandy, and you won't even need your passport. Just grab your favorite tasting glass and join us as we head off to Gascony, France.
Bienvenue to Armagnac 2. Can you tell us more about your family and the background of the company?
Yes, of course. Just you can see that in all the label you can read Histoire de famille depuis 1893. 1883, it was for our great grandfather Prosper Delord that he was born in 1845. But we found this beautiful medal, and you can see the date of the vintage, 1893. So it's white. It's white. On the label, we write Histoire de famille depuis 1893 en français. Then our great grandfather had two sons, Gaston and Jacques. They created the company Delord Brothers in the year 40. Then our grandfather, Gaston, had two sons, Jacques and Pierre. They continue to work in the year 60 and 70. And since 2000, my brother and me. You can see my brother and me. This is the history of the family. One main key of the success of the family, of the company, is the family.
All right, so here we are in the vineyards with Jérôme and Sylvain, and this is where the Armagnac process begins. Can you guys tell us a little bit more about where we are?
So we are in Churlet. Churlet is one of the piece of our vineyards. Total, we have 44 hectares of vineyards in 4 different grape varieties. Sylvain is going to explain the difference here.
Yeah, here we got some Colombard, and then on that box it's Uni Blanc. But we've got also Folle Blanche and Baco, which is well known for Armagnac.
A follow-up question. I noticed we're standing in front of this beautiful oak tree. Is this a typical Gascon oak? We talk about the Gascon oak. This is the type?
This is a Gascona tree, but we cannot use it for to make a barrel because of the shape. The shape is not good to do a barrel.
I see. So there have to be specific trees that are chosen to be barrels.
Well, draw. Straight.
Okay.
And one more thing, when you started 20 years ago, when you joined the company 20 years ago, how big was your vineyard?
We had 11 hectares.
11 hectares.
Yeah.
And now you have
44.
45.
And soon 50.
Soon 50 because you bought a
Just,
new little thing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
So we're not going to run out of Armagnac anytime soon.
Yeah.
Great.
More Armagnac, good.
More Armagnac.
Okay.
And the first vineyard that we plant with my brother is this vineyard with Colombard. And so he was
11 years ago.
Yeah, it's the age of
My son.
And the Colombard, I understand, that's the grape you use for the Blanche?
Yes,
So it all
But-
comes from here?
we will see it after.
Okay, okay.
How old
Next
are
time.
those vines?
10 years.
Oh, 11.
11.
But how old are those ones?
11, 10,
10 years.
and 8. Because
Okay.
we did in 2 times.
Okay.
So on the left is more 9 and here is more 8. But
Okay.
I don't know where is the difference.
So they are in full
Yeah.
production level.
Yeah.
That's the best, yeah.
So
Okay.
we're off to the distillery next?
Now we're off to the distillery.
All right.
Let's go.
We go.
Wonderful.
See you over there.
Ah ouais.
Alors, on fait sauter l'autre point de vue, c'est bon?
Oui, bah.
Ouais, c'est bon. Voilà. On le voit ici.
Okay, so now we are in Distillerie with Delord, with Jérôme and Sylvain again, and Sylvain is going to tell us how the still works, the Armagnac still works.
So it's easy. In yellow, you got the wine. The wine arrives on that side and goes down. This part is full of wine. Then the wine goes by a pipe and go in the column. Here, you got the boiler with the fire. So the wine goes down, pass through the plate, and as here you got the fire, then there is a vapor of alcohol, which will go up and pass through the plate. And then through the wine. It's a big difference between the cognac and the Armagnac, the Alambic. Here there is a blend, an exchange between the vapors of the alcohol and the wine. So the vapor goes up, pass through that part of the Alambic, then go in the second time. And here, this part, we call it wine heater, because the vapor are hot and the wine is cold. So there is an exchange between the temperature of the wine here and the vapor. So the vapor hot the wine and the wine cold the vapor. Condensation. Here we have a condensation, and then here we got Armagnac, liquid Armagnac, white Armagnac. Is it clear for you?
Yeah. Now, I noticed you have another still over there. Qu'est-ce que tu préfères? Which still do you prefer?
It's a big question. There is, yes, we have two different Alambic. I prefer this one because this one for me is more fruity. But the second one here is my father preferred it because the Armagnac is more fat. But what is interesting here, when we blend them, there is a good Armagnac and there is a good balance between fruit and fat.
Oh.
Fantastic.
And Sylvain, what is this?
This is a plate of Alambic Armagnac, and we call it a spider. You can see it's a spider.
So it sits flat, and that's when the wine and the alcohol
The wine
mix
arrives
with each other.
by the top, and the vapor arrives by the bottom, and there is an exchange here between the wine
And that's
and the
what
vapor.
makes good Armagnac.
Yes, it's the main part.
Now, how old is this still here?
As you can see, this one is 1967,
Okay.
and the other one, Jean,
It's from 1900, something like
1900.
that. Everything is repaired.
And that's where good Armagnac comes from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Okay, great. And now we're going to go off to the tasting room.
The cellars.
Oh, the cellar.
so next step, step
Okay,
by step.
I'm eager to the tasting room.
Okay. Okay, now I'm here in one of my favorite cellars at Delord's Armagnac house. This is actually the very first time I came here, and I hate to say it now, but it's over 25 years ago. I came here, and Jacques and I spent time here. He met me right here. He showed me his desk that was full of books with numbers and little pipettes and glasses, and it was a wonderful experience. Jacques, ça fait 25 ans qu'on s'est rencontrés ici.
Je sais qu'il faisait un temps exécrable, il pleuvait, il faisait froid.
He said it was a very rainy day, it was cold.
C'était moche.
On est allé dans ton ancien bureau
Oui.
et ensuite on est venu ici et on a dégusté des Armagnacs. We first started in his old office, which doesn't exist anymore because it's been renovated. And then we came here and we tasted some Armagnac. On a goûté des Armagnacs.
Il faisait nuit même. Il y avait même la nuit.
Il faisait noir, oui, il
Vous êtes
faisait
venu
noir.
me voir pendant la nuit.
Oui, oui.
Hein?
Ça fait longtemps, hein?
Oui, non.
It's been a long time ago.
Pas trop.
He says it's been 2 years ago. No. 25 years ago. So, Jacques, vous passez encore beaucoup de temps ici?
Non,
Non.
quelques minutes tous les jours.
Je ne crois pas.
De 8h à midi et de 2h à 6h.
So I asked him, he spend some time here? He said, no, I don't spend time, just a few minutes per day, from 8 to 12 and 1 to 7. Right? C'est ça, hein?
C'est ça.
Beaucoup de temps.
Oui, mais je m'amuse, moi, ici, je m'amuse. Il ne faut pas leur dire, hein, aux enfants, que je m'amuse. Je viens pas ici pour travailler, je viens ici pour m'amuser.
So he says he comes here to have fun. Don't tell the kids, but he's coming here to have fun. Speaking of the kids, Jérôme, Sylvain,
Oui.
vous venez?
Ouais.
Alors voilà, Jérôme, Sylvain, les enfants de Jacques et Marie-France. Voilà, oui.
Pas loin.
Jack really taught everything to his two sons. Vous avez appris tout à vos enfants. Comment faire les coupes depuis votre très jeune âge, hein? C'est ça, Sylvain? Sylvain is mostly in charge of the
Yes,
cellars.
this is my professor.
Yeah.
My only one.
He's your only one, your mentor.
My teacher. Yes,
Your
yes.
teacher.
It's him.
On travaille ensemble. Hein.
Oui.
Enfin, tout à l'heure, on a dégusté quelques armagnacs ensemble, tout ça. Au fond, on se complète un peu quand même.
When we make a blend, if I work on the blend, we test together. And if it's okay for both,
Yes.
it's okay. But if one of us say no, it's not enough good, we work again on the blend.
On the blend.
Yeah.
They work well together. This is really nice. And then you turn to Jérôme and say, Jérôme, can you sell this? Right?
But I trust my father and my brother, so
That's nice.
they can do everything.
That's really a family history. And it's one of the best examples of how family can work together. And that's really admirable.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Merci.
Okay, we are back in the cellar now, and Jérôme and Sylvain are going to show us something interesting. They're going to show us an Armagnac that has been aged 2 months, and another one that has been aged 1 year and 2 months, just to see the difference.
Especially the color.
Start.
Yes.
Don't forget that this Armagnac was clear as water 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
And now it has a light tinge of yellow,
Yeah.
of gold.
This is a Baco.
This is 100% Baco.
Yeah.
And what is the proof? What is the degree right now, volume?
It's about 78 degrees.
Oh,
No.
Okay,
58,
58, that's better, yeah.
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
Let's see.
And then here there is another Armagnac, which is here since 1 year and 2 months. Je vais essayer de garder
Wow.
le même niveau.
Look at the difference. Wow. Just 1 year and 2 months?
Yeah.
All the wood
So-
comes at the beginning of the aging.
Wow, that's unbelievable. The
And
difference.
this is a Follow Blanche.
100% for blanche. And so, is the charm the same within the barrel, the chauffe?
Yes, the chauffe is the same.
It's the same for
Yeah.
the two.
Yes.
So that's unbelievable how much difference there is in just 1 year.
Yeah.
And what's the degree on that at this point?
Oh, I think it's about 55 degrees. Of
Okay.
alcohol. And you can smell. Here you can smell the taste of the wood. With the
So quite a difference in the
vanilla.
smell as well.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
That's a faux blanche.
This is Baco. This is really Baco.
The full blanche always smells more. And it has a nicer nose, no?
I don't think that one is more woody because of. Yeah, you can smell the wood.
This one
Yeah,
after
it's
more.
Yeah, it's too.
It's only
But
now.
there is
You smell the
more
fruit.
alcohol,
Fruit.
but yes, you get the taste of the Baco.
So Jérôme, can you tell us about this? You just found that.
Yeah,
you told me
because,
today.
because we decided to clean one house, not house,
Warehouse.
one room,
Oh,
one room, and in the room they were that, and we know that is from our grandfather. They use it to take sample direct from the barrels. And as I don't like that, I prefer that.
They both do the same job.
No, it's only a pièce de museum
Museum piece, yeah. It's an antique. It's an antique. Yeah.
So maybe he was sleeping during 50 years.
Wow.
And it's a family heirloom.
Yes.
Yes, beautiful.
And maybe it was old-fashioned and now it's fashion.
It's fashion.
You make it fashion.
Yeah.
Ce serait possible d'en refaire une ce commande?
So, with the logo Delord, yes.
You find it in the gift shop.
Yeah.
You can tell he's the commercial side, right?
We have a specific room, secret room, that we call the Paradise. So you have to be careful here. 1900, 1900 on the left.
We're finally here. We made it to the tasting room. We just have enough time to taste a couple of, 2 or 3 of the different Armagnacs before we head off to dinner. Sorry, to the call. See what they have.
So tasting time, we are going to taste 3 different Armagnac, 1 single vintage 2000, 1 special blend that we call it Création number 9, secret of my brother, et a brut de fût, single cask, cask strain 90. This is our tasting for specialists.
See, now you want to talk a little bit about it? Which one do we start with?
You have to start with that one because the degree is about it's 40 degrees. And then we are going to the blend. Here we got a special blend. It's a blend between vintage 92, 89, and 88. And the degree is about 44 degrees. And this is a single cask with the number of the oak. And very interesting, very powerful and complex.
And what is the degree on that last one?
It's about 48 degrees.
Okay. Oh, so that's a good order.
That's a good order, yes.
Okay, so we begin.
Yeah.
The nose is very fruity too. A lot of quench, du
Queens, not the queens.
J'ai des notes abricots aussi.
It's a little bit of vanilla, not too pronounced.
Okay, next one.
Number 9. You made 8 creations, right? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10.
We start at 3.
3.
That is a delicious nose.
Different.
What is that? Yeah.
Very different.
Is it chocolate?
Yeah, it's more wood. That's not the target of the blend. It's delicious. So the cacao,
Right.
or
That one is maybe one of the best that Sicilian create.
Am I crazy to think I'm getting dark chocolate?
I was like a cocoa
Really, I can't get away. The smell, both the smell and the taste. It's really, and for 44, it's less hot than the 2000. Yeah, very nice.
Okay, we're going on to the
1990. So we do have 1990 in the US stock, but Joe said that the one we have is at, right, the one we have is at 40%. This is Cask 20.
This is interesting. I'm not sure how to describe it.
Very different from the Transform.
Yeah. More fruity, maybe.
For me, it's a little bit floral,
Dry smoke. Yeah. And yet it's 48, but it again.
very easy to
That's the target.
that.
Choose it because it's soft.
So right enough. Yeah.
I think the bourbon here is
Well, we're back at our place in Cognac after a short but fantastic visit to Gascony.
It was a lot of fun indeed, and we're sure glad our two sons came along for the ride and the experience.
We have to thank the Delords again for spending so much time with us, and
Now we have to schedule some time to visit our producers in Cognac and hopefully do a little filming as well. Until then, be well.
drink well. Thanks for watching.